Hello everyone, I'm Billy Stivers with the Bug Man. Today we're going to be talking about something you come home, you find on your kitchen counter, you left the cookies out. It's odorous house ants. Those are the ones that usually infest the home. We're going to talk about them today, so stay tuned. Okay, with the ants as you're going to see in the kitchen, they're generally going to be a type of ant called the odorous house ant. They're known as odorous house ants because when you crush them, they have a sweet smell to them, or if you disturb one of their colonies, they emit a very highly distinct smell. You'll notice that first off. What you don't want to do is when they come in, they're usually coming in for food. If they have a heavy rain outside, it'll wash the honeydew that they normally feed off of. It'll wash that away. They'll come inside looking for an alternative food source, which anything sweet is usually what they're going to go to. Another thing is they'll come in looking for moisture. If it's dry out, they'll come in looking for that as well. So you'll see them around the sink areas and things like that. Another thing that can make these ants difficult to deal with is they're very opportunistic nesters. They'll nest in pretty much anything. Outside they'll nest in log piles. I've seen them pretty much in anything. Underneath splash blocks, leaf piles, they get underneath there. It's like a bunch of shingles for them, so they'll nest in there. A lot of common areas that people overlook is their roof line. Roof debris will get up on there on the roof and hang up there, and they can nest in there. Gutters, clogged gutters, that will promote them because the moisture gets behind the fascia board, and they'll nest in those areas as well. They can also nest in wall voids. If you ever had a plumbing leak underneath the sink or anything like that, they'll nest inside that wall void. That's why it's best that I feel is just to put the bait outside. That way, if they are living in a wall void, you can promote them and drag them outside. That'll get them to go outside for that bait. The baits they work a little slower than the sprays, the contact insecticides, and it's intended to do that. That way it gives them the opportunity to take it back to the colonies. Another thing is these ants have numerous queens, and if you spray these products, they can actually force them to split up and form satellite colonies, so there can be many nests other than just one nest. That can add difficulty to it as well. All right, what these ants are coming in looking for is anything sweet, any type of food source. They'll send in these foragers and scouts to look out for things. And once they find something, a little drop of Kool-Aid, it doesn't matter. You can be pretty clean and they'll still find something. And what they'll do is they'll feed on that, and then they drag their abdomen back to the colony. They'll leave like a pheromone trail down for the other ants to say, hey guys, it's all in here. That's what they're following. So when you see ants trailing, they're following a pheromone trail. They're not actually looking at the guy in front of them saying, hey, let's follow this guy. That's how they work. And with these ants, we can get rid of them, but what you'd want to do is probably go with an ongoing service where we come out and we treat the areas along the perimeter and do a spray, because these ants are going to keep coming in from other areas. You can get rid of that wave of ants, but like waves hitting the shore, there's going to be more approaching the area, and it's best to take care of that with treatments regularly around the perimeter will help with that, prevent them from getting in again. And these odorous house ants, once you get rid of them, they can't approach from neighboring yards. They do not have a jurisdiction that they go by. So they will approach from other yards, neighboring yards, and they'll pick up and move anytime their environment changes or they're disturbed. So they're always on the go. They're always moving location. We're going to step outside, and I'm going to show you some of these areas to look for and some conducive conditions to help avoid attracting them to your home. Here's an area here. This is a Crape Myrtle here. These are pretty prone for ant activity. They're usually going up and down these. You'll see them in the summer. They feed on the honeydew that these things produce. A sweet sap is what they're feeding on. A lot of times, and another thing these things are commonly known for is they have a lot of buildup, a lot of leaf debris in the bottom. Especially these overgrown ones, they create like a crown, and the leaves will build up in there, and that's a great harborage area for ants. A lot of times you can stir them up and you'll have ants pouring out of there. Anytime that gets flooded out or something changes, they're going to go to the nearest thing, and that's your home, and that's right up the foundation, and go inside and look for an alternative food source. So keep an eye on these areas. Another thing to do is with a perimeter treatment, we can do a perimeter treatment, but if you have branches going over to the roof, these ants will use these areas like a bridge to get to the structure and avoid the treatment area. So keep limbs trimmed back away from the roof line to help prevent a route of entry. Again, I'm Billy Stivers with the Bugman, and if you enjoyed this video, you can either like it, subscribe it, and comment below.